In this edition of RPP News, we take a local look at the federal election outcome. Our housing crisis is hurting the young, and we're invited to be brave and make change. Hello, I'm Catie Sharp. Welcome to the latest edition of RPP News, bringing you stories from across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. After months of campaigning, the federal election is done. The democracy sausages are digested, and while Australia is set for a change of government, across Flinders and Dunkley, the political landscape is not much changed. Liberal candidate Zoe McKenzie successfully defended the seat of Flinders for the Coalition, while in Dunkley, Peter Murphy was returned with an encouraging swing to Labor. We spoke to an elated Peter the morning after.
I can't entirely believe it, because we won and we haven't done that for so long. Look, it's amazing, but as Anthony says, we didn't want to win government for ourselves. We wanted to win government for the things that we can do for our local communities and for the country, and that is what is so exciting. All of our policies and visions for a better future, we've now got the opportunity to deliver them, and it feels pretty special.
High real estate prices and a lack of social housing have set off a crisis across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. The Shire hosted a youth homelessness forum last week at which councillors pledged to advocate for youth-specific crisis accommodation and to working actively with local organisations and advocates to end youth homelessness. Fusion Mornington Peninsula is one of the organisations providing support to displaced young people and is reporting alarming numbers of community members in distress. Gemma Bell has worked at Fusion for 15 years and says she has never seen numbers like it.
We're in a very dangerous position, to be honest. I'm receiving calls every day from people who shouldn't be homeless. They're folks with jobs, they're functional, they've got, they shouldn't be facing the kind of crisis they are. But there's a housing shortage and there is not enough income to support the kinds of rents and mortgages that people are expected to pay to have a stable home.
A group of local businesses are combining their efforts to promote their products and services to a broader market. James McPherson, owner of Jimmy Rum, says the substantial peninsula brewing and distilling cottage industry has shot up on the Dramana Industrial Estate, where half a dozen alcohol manufacturers, including Bass and Flinders Gin and Jetty Road Brewery, have banded together to boost their marketing efforts.
So we're calling it the Dramana Habitat. We've just sort of formed an alliance with all of ourselves, and we're sort of going to promote it together, just so as that we can, really bring a lot more people down from the city down into the community down here during winter in particular, to try and help all our other local businesses and stuff grow.
The Toe Punch Shield, an annual showdown between the Sorrento and Frankston YCW clubs, was played at Sorrento on Saturday. The annual match honours the memory of the late great RPP footy caller Andrew Toe Punt Kelly. Frankston YCW won the Shield this year with a strong win against the Sharks. Stonecats president Andrew Schneider was very happy with their 7th win of the season, but also acknowledged the huge role Toey played in local footy.
I mean, personally, I love, Andrew Kelly, Toe Punt. We had a 2012 reunion a couple of weeks ago, and I put the game on, and he's front and centre, front and centre at Frankston Park, doing his thing. Bloody hell, that's Toe Punt. Yeah. And a lot of the young fellas probably don't know who he is, but I know that Frankston YCW really appreciate. I know Langy, they're just clubs. Gav Artico, we talk about guys that have had an impact on our competition, and I can't think of anyone else other than Toey, the way he supported the comp, and he was certainly, the voice of Peninsula football.
National Reconciliation Week begins on Friday, and the theme this year is Be Brave, Make Change, which is an invitation to all Australians to be brave and tackle the unfinished business of reconciliation so we can make change for the benefit of all Australians. There are a number of ways you can support local First Nations communities. There will be a smoking ceremony and welcome to country at Rosebud Council Chambers on the 31st of May, which is also hosting a mini exhibition of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander art. Winner of the Melbourne Prize for Music, Kutcha Edwards, is at the Frankston Arts Centre on the 1st of June when he will perform songs and stories from Circling Time, his new album. Will Moraine Aboriginal Association's annual Reconciliation Walk is next Sunday the 29th of May, and everyone is invited to join the Aboriginal community of the peninsula for a leisurely stroll in the spirit of reconciliation. The walk takes about 30 minutes from Pelican Park on the Hastings foreshore and ends at the gathering place. There will be a Welcome to Country, performances by Gungagiri and the Aboriginal Choir, and a barbecue. Walkers are encouraged to wear Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander colours, carry flags or make banners with a reconciliation message. After the break, we have David Robertson with this month's Bendigo Bank market update.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
The Reserve Bank hike to 0.35% was slightly higher than our revised expectation of 15 basis points for May, brought forward thanks to even sharper increases to CPI and core inflation. The RBA no longer had the luxury of waiting for wages data later this month before kicking off the tightening cycle after CPI rose above 5% and core inflation well above their 2 to 3% target. So, again proving their independence from politics, the rate hike was timely and a direct response to the inflation data, and was in line with rate hikes building around the world. The US also set to hike rates again this week, but by 0.5%, double our increase. The RBA now forecasts that CPI will average 6% this year and core inflation almost 5%, before moderating back to 3% by 2024. So a series of 0.25% rate hikes from here to around 2% by year end appear very likely. The inflation and energy shock and broad commodity price surges are still volatile and unpredictable in nature. But Australia, as an energy, resources and soft commodity exporter, should cope better with these conditions than many countries. And the RBA statement still included upbeat forecasts for GDP growth of over 4% this year and unemployment falling to 3.5%, in line with our forecasts from last month. Jobs growth will be important to help our economy deal with higher interest rates and will assist with a soft landing for property prices. The latest RBA Financial Stability Report explained logically why house prices may ease 10% over the next 2 years if rates rise by 2%, and that scenario is on track, but needs to be put in the context of 30 to 35% increases in values over the last few years. Similarly, consumer sentiment will be weighed down by the rate hikes, but with jobs growth and the rebooting of tourism and greater mobility, consumers are still likely to maintain spending, albeit with prices and interest rates on the rise. And lastly, stock markets are still in defensive mode, trying to second-guess just how high interest rates will head this year and next. But like the Aussie dollar, it won't be one-way traffic, even if Australia's economic outperformance does ultimately shine through, which is our base case scenario. And that's the market update from Bendigo Bank.
We go now to Nicola with this week's weather report.
Hello, it's Nicola here with this week's RPP Weekly Weather Update. Well, the mornings have been very misty, but the days have remained relatively warm. Let's see if this trend will continue. Today, Sunday the 22nd of May, saw a mostly sunny day. We reached a top of 14 with a low of 5. Monday should see a partly cloudy day with some rain lurking about. We should reach a high of 14 and a low of 5. Tuesday continues this trend, however, there is a 5% chance of rain. Expect a top of 15 and a low of 5. Wednesday, the 25th of May, should be an overly sunny day with a top of 17 and a low of 5. Thursday sees the rain returning with a 70% chance of rain across the peninsula. We can expect a top of 17 and a low of 8. Friday will see the rain continue with a 90% chance of rain over the peninsula. We should feel a top of 16 and a low of 11. And finally, Saturday sees the rain continue with a top of 15 and a low of 9. Well, that's all for this week. And don't forget to watch the full RPP news at rpp.com.au. Until next week, take care.
And now to our surf guru Muzz with the surf report.
Hey guys, it's Muzz here with this week's Mornington Peninsula Surf Report. We've had another good week of waves, a bit of something for everybody yet again, including that really big swell we got midweek. The week in front of us, next couple of days is going to be sort of light wind slide onshore, but come Saturday, Sunday, Monday, looks like we're going to get east-northeasterlies and a drop in the swell, so we should be back on the beaches again. So it's been a bit of something for everybody, and looks like it'll run through that offshore right through to midway through next week with northerlies, maybe northeasterlies, but definitely Saturday, Sunday and Monday will be on the beach breaks. There's a chance of a bit of a push in the swell and then the wind turning a bit more to the northwest, but everyone should be happy, everyone should be surfing, and it's turning into a reasonably good autumn after a very slow start. So enjoy, and I'll see you next week.
And that's all from our team here at RPP News, serving the community with stories that matter to you. Keep watching and do tell your friends. Bring you the news from coast to coast across Frankston and the Mornington Peninsula. I'm Catie Sharp. See you for the next edition.